live in an era where Hollywood is dominated by cinematic universes, endless reboots, and 5-picture contracts. It's within these confines that Leonardo DiCaprio stands as something of an anomaly. He is arguably the only actor left on the planet who can open a blockbuster movie based solely on his name without the safety net of a cape or a pre-existing franchise. He's maintained this level of prestige for the last 3 decades by adhering to one golden rule: no sequels. Well, and also never dating a woman under 25, but that's a separate video.
It's already too late.
Since his childhood debut in Critters 3, okay, that's technically one sequel, but DiCaprio has never reprised a role. He turned down Spider-Man, Batman Forever, and Star Wars. This refusal to rely on IP has forced him to treat every film as a standalone event, creating a filmography where every performance is akin to a high-wire act without a safety net. Which I'm just now realizing I only say because now I have Batman Forever stuck in my noggin. That movie rules. Let me know in the comments what you think of Batman Forever. Let's really confuse anyone who goes straight to the comments. You know, the sociopaths.
Yeah!
Let's now delve into 7 performances that defined that high-wire act, transforming Leo from a teen heartthrob into the last true movie star.
Can't tell you how excited I am.
First up, 1993's What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which stars DiCaprio as Arnie Grape, the mentally disabled younger brother of Johnny Depp's titular protagonist. At the age of 19, DiCaprio delivered a performance of astonishing authenticity and commitment that immediately set him apart from his contemporaries. Working opposite Depp, the young actor didn't just play Arnie, he seemed to disappear into the character's erratic mannerisms, physical gait, and unpredictable mood swings. His preparation involved extensive research and time spent observing young people with similar conditions, ensuring the portrayal was executed with profound respect and detail. This role was a sort of cinematic declaration, intentional or not. Earning him his first Academy Award nomination, it was a critical shockwave that established him as a serious artistic force years before his looks would make him a global icon. He successfully bypassed the traditional path of a handsome young lead, instantly marking his territory as an actor who prioritized challenging roles over easy commercial appeal. The nomination was a permanent shield that prevented him from being dismissed as just another teen idol. From there, he starred in a selection of interesting projects like Sam Raimi's The Quick and the Dead, The Basketball Diaries, and the criminally underrated Romeo and Juliet. Then came the big one. In 1997, DiCaprio starred as the penniless, free-spirited artist Jack Dawson in a little movie by the name of Titanic. While often overshadowed by the film's massive scale and romantic spectacle, DiCaprio's performance is still expertly calibrated. Here he wasn't playing a traditional hero, but rather a charming embodiment of spontaneity and working-class integrity. Under the watchful eye of James Cameron, he was tasked with and succeeded in exuding a charisma patent enough to justify Rose's decision to abandon her entire privileged life, and he did it with a magnetic blend of earnestness and not-so-subtle defiance. The chemistry he shared with Kate Winslet was legendary, propelling the film to become the highest-grossing movie ever at the time. Propelling, you get it? Like, because there's a propeller on the Titanic and it like comes down and smushes all the people. We shouldn't have that clip for a laugh. That's not a laughing clip. Is it? Titanic also created Leo Mania. Wait, let me try that again. Titanic also created Leo Mania. It transformed him into a cultural phenomenon whose image covered every magazine and teenage girl's bedroom wall worldwide. This level of superstardom provided him with the ultimate career weapon: absolute control. Post-Titanic, he made the deliberate, career-defining choice to reject major commercial offers that would have turned him into just another romantic leading man. Outside of The Man in the Iron Mask, which was completed around the same time as Titanic, DiCaprio took a 3-year hiatus from major releases, emerging committed to a more or less anti-commercial path paved with collaborations with A-list directors like Danny Boyle and Martin Scorsese. The latter collaboration would begin with 2002's Gangs of New York, but we're not talking about that delightful little period piece, no sirree Bob. In 2004, DiCaprio starred as Howard Hughes, the aviation and cinema mogul battling an escalating case of obsessive-compulsive disorder, and boy howdy, he fully embodied the complexities of the iconic real-life figure. Leo meticulously seamlessly portrays Hugh's journey from charismatic, ambitious visionary to a man crippled by paranoia and ritualistic OCD. To prepare, he studied archival material and met with people who knew Hughes, but perhaps more importantly, he worked with an expert to understand the physical and psychological toll of severe OCD. The performance is a masterclass in controlled mania, showing the slow, terrifying erosion of a brilliant mind in what could have very well been an over-the-top performance in less capable hands. The Aviator also cemented DiCaprio's alliance with Martin Scorsese, proving his mettle in a challenging large-scale biopic. He earned his second Oscar nomination, finally validating his status as a serious dramatic leading man capable of carrying an epic. This film confirmed the death of the Jack Dawson era and inaugurated the era of the serious director-driven actor. It's crazy to think about, but just 2 years after The Aviator, we got Martin Scorsese's Best Picture winner, The Departed, in which DiCaprio plays Billy Costigan, a psychologically frayed undercover cop infiltrating the Irish mob. The performance is of a man in perpetual flight, caught between two masters, consumed by paranoia and the risk of exposure. It's a real nail-biter. DiCaprio's brilliance here lies in conveying that constant crippling tension through a jittery demeanor, haunted eyes, and the barely contained rage that explodes in mostly private moments, although don't you dare bring up cranberry juice around this ticking time bomb of a human being. Homeboy eschewed all traces of his inherent charm to fully inhabit a character being ground down by moral ambiguity. The Departed was the definitive confirmation that DiCaprio had shed his pretty boy image entirely. It showcased his ability to thrive in a dense, gritty ensemble led by Scorsese, standing toe-to-toe with established giants like Jack Nicholson and Matt Damon. It demonstrated his ability to successfully anchor adult, R-rated crime dramas and cemented his appeal to a broader, more mature audience who had initially flocked to him after Titanic 9 years before. We could talk about a whole menagerie of great films that would follow The Departed, movies like Revolutionary Road, Inception, Django Unchained, and The Great Gatsby, but instead I'd like to draw your attention to yet another Scorsese joint, and baby, it ain't Shutter Island. 2013's The Wolf of Wall Street, a film that is somehow over a decade old, turning me into the meme from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. In this cocaine-fueled criminal biopic, DiCaprio plays another real-life figure, Jordan Belfort, a corrupt, hedonistic stockbroker. This is DiCaprio's most physically uninhibited and comedic performance. Jordan Belfort is a monster of excess, but one rendered terrifyingly charismatic by the actor's energy. Belfort's famous 6-minute monologues, delivered directly to camera, required incredible vocal and physical stamina. The performance is defined by its reckless abandon, most famously in the scene where Belfort's body fails him after taking stale Quaaludes, demanding a rare sampling of self-parody and physical comedy from the usually intense actor. But why does Wolf of Wall Street belong on this list while certain others don't? Well, aside from my arbitrary 7-film limit, this film shattered the remaining confines of his dramatic persona. Sure, he took a villainous turn in Django, fine, but it wasn't until Wolf of Wall Street that we got to see him handle high-octane comedy while also operating at the extreme edges of character study without losing the audience. Here was an actor willing to look ridiculous, vulgar, and morally bankrupt, solidifying his range and demonstrating his commitment to the craft, no matter how controversial or extreme the vision might be. Now this brings me to 2015's The Revenant, wherein DiCaprio plays another real-life figure, Hugh Glass, a frontiersman brutally attacked and left for dead in the American wilderness in the 1820s. Put more simply, dude goes through some serious shit. DiCaprio spent nearly the entire film battling the elements, portraying a man reduced to primal instinct. The commitment to realism, enduring freezing conditions, eating raw bison liver, and portraying the nonverbal agony of a man seeking vengeance was legendary. Everybody was talking about it. Dude was going full ham method. But how exactly did it define him? The Revenant became synonymous with the narrative of his career, the ultimate endurance test for the ultimate prize. After years of being nominated and losing out time and time again, this performance, which visibly demanded every ounce of his dedication, finally secured Leonardo DiCaprio with the Academy Award for Best Actor. It was the industry's acknowledgement of his consistent refusal to take easy roles and commitment to challenging one-off projects. Finally, we have to talk about the other legendary director to take Leo under his wing, Quentin Tarantino, who worked with the star for the second time with 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, wherein DiCaprio plays the fictional Rick Dalton, an insecure television actor whose career is stalling in 1969. Here, DiCaprio delivered a meta-performance that was a poignant reflection on fame and failure. Rick Dalton is neurotic, vulnerable, and terrified of irrelevance, a stark contrast to his real-life career security. The most telling moment is a breakdown in his trailer when Dalton realizes he's losing his acting ability, only to pull himself together and deliver a powerful scene within a TV western. This performance showcased his ability to portray weakness, insecurity, and the emotional toll of the spotlight. Once Upon a Time is a masterpiece of self-awareness. At the height of his powers, DiCaprio chose a role about an actor losing his, allowing him to explore vulnerability and the anxieties of Hollywood stardom. It reinforced his career-long rule: every role must be a new story, and presumably must also come with one of the greatest directors of all time, I guess. What would you put on your list of the 7 career-defining moments for Mr. DiCaprio? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching ScreenRant.